What's up, anglers? This is Will Dowd Martin, managing editor with Bass Angler Magazine. We're at ICAST Orlando 2021, and I'm with my good buddy Dave Brown, senior marketing specialist for Fishlab Baits, and he's going to talk to us about some of the new stuff that's come out this year, some of the things that came out last year but are sort of being reintroduced this year due to the COVID shutdown last year. So a lot of people may have missed some of this stuff, but it's almost like getting relaunched, so we're pretty excited about it.
It is exciting.
Yeah, man. What
Yeah,
we
lots
got?
of good stuff. So for this year, we got some really cool new items for Fishlab. We've got some great wake baits, some really awesome stuff that came out last year. This year, we got some fun new stuff, especially with that bass angler. One of the most exciting baits we have is the new Slamamander. What it is actually a salamander-style bait or a water dog, depending on where you're at in the country. It's a soft-bodied swim bait that comes in 3 sizes. You got a 4.5-inch, a 6-inch, and a 7-inch bait. Soft-bodied, they're a full mimicking water dog style bait, but what's unique about them is you got the paddle tail design. That paddle tail gives it an incredible kick. So you not only have that side-to-side wiggle, you got that tail kick on it as well, and it's very subtle when this thing's swimming. So it gives it a real water dog or salamander style swim. It's not a big erratic swim bait like a lot of the competitors have. It's very subtle and looks just like a salamander. Rig these however you like. You can rig them with a beast hook, you can rig them with a little bit of a lead head, bear hook them, however you want to do it. These little baits are fantastic. They come in a 5-pack, a 4-pack, and a 3-pack, depending on what size you get, and they'll retail for just about $9.
And I notice it's got a little recessed area in the back, so you can Texpose your hook if you'd like. And I can imagine, like especially the smaller version, even the larger versions, would work really well on the Carolina rig. Just dragging it slow across the bottom, or even, like you said, swimming it through the water column with that real subtle tail action.
Exactly. Pull that up over rocks, real slow, like you said, Carolina, Texas rig, however you like. Bring it up, bring it over, let it fall down. They've got a lot of kick, a lot of movement. Every time you pull it through the water, the little legs go back. When you stop, they kind of kick back forward again. So it just gives it a real true feel.
It's got some silicone whiskers.
It's got some whiskers that stick out, give it that gill flare that water dogs have. So, cool little bait.
Cool. How many colors they come in?
I want to say there's 8 different colors in this selection on each of the sizes there.
Cool.
And it's got all your cool colors, all your standards, everything's covered there.
Cool. All right, what do we got next?
So another exciting bait we have this year is the Bioshed Flutter spoon. It comes in 3 sizes. There's 1 3/4, there's a 2-inch, and a 2 1/4 inch length size there. They've got a kind of a unique little shape to them. It's wide bellied. It's got a little bit of a flare at the bottom. So as you're jigging that and you let it drop, it gives it a little bit of a kick, almost like an erratic style saltwater bait. Nice sharp hooks on them, very well built. And as you and I were fishing Bioshed a couple years back, coming up, you're doing your electronics fishing, you pull up on those marks, you can drop right down to them, you can jig those baits. Awesome little bait. They come in 5 different colors. Great looking pattern. I don't know if you can see that shine there, but they've got some great pattern that's through there. There's a little bit of gill that's carved into that bait. They swim well, they fall fast, they're phenomenal.
And what kind of weights we got on those?
So the weights available are a 1/2 ounce, 3/4 ounce, and a 1 ounce, depending on that size there. I'd like to mention 5 different colors, great looking bait. If you're that electronics fisherman, you want to drop down deep, do a little of that flutter action, that's your bait.
That's got to be a good fall time of year bait when all that bait fish is schooling up. Drop it right down into one of those bait balls you see on your electronics and just jig it.
Exactly.
Now that's technically, what you would describe that as more of a jigging spoon or a flutter spoon?
So it's a flutter spoon.
Okay.
So you can cast it, let it fall, and just work its way back, or just straight vertical jig it as well.
Awesome. They're going to watch that.
So the next bait here is the Bioshed Tailspin. This is an awesome little tailspin bait by Fishlab. They come in a 3/4 and a 1 ounce bait. There's 6 different colors in the whole little system there. But what's really unique about it is it's one of the only 2-hook tailspins out on the market. And we've been working with Owner, and they came up with this new flexible tailspin section. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a little rubber section there that hooks right into the swivel that brings it right to that actual tail spinner there. A lot of flash, a lot of movement. You can cast these and straight retrieve them, vertical jig them, work them way back to the boat there. How do you like to fish the tailspin?
I like to yo-yo them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best thing for smallmouth that I found, especially on Champlain. Just yo-yoing it off the bottom, nice and easy. Just pick them up and feel them flutter. A lot like the blade bait. These are a little bit heavier, which is kind of cool though because Champlain is a deeper lake.
Yeah.
When they're sitting in 25, 30 feet of water, you can get it down there fast.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And we're down in Southern California, so we're fishing these for the largemouth bass, but we're also taking them to saltwater. We've been fishing these things for the spotted bay bass, the sand bass, calico bass. They've been tearing these things around the docks, just like fishing freshwater, except they're big fish and they're full hearted.
Yeah,
Fun times.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the Bioshed Tailspin. These things are phenomenal.
And the tail spinner mechanism has held up well to a lot of abuse with that. It looks like it was a little plastic sleeve there connecting it to the treble.
Exactly. Yeah, it's connected through. It's a new system that it actually, I don't know if you can see it there. It's kind of through wired, but it's a new little system that owner worked out, and they've been working on this prototype for quite a while. We're the first people that are able to use it, so they gave that to Fishlab to use and put out. It's exciting.
Awesome.
So down in Southern California, we like to throw the big bait. We're known for throwing the big swim baits down there, and a bait that likes to be thrown a lot is the glide bait. There's some great glide bait companies that we know out there, and it was something that Fishlab needed. We have the glide bait in the Bio which is the big bluegill bait. That's a single section big glide bait. What we did this year is we introduced the Hydro Glide. That's the new 8-inch glide bait by Fishlab. It comes in 5 different colors. It's 8 inches in length, and it's got that single joint, and it gives it a nice wide glide. You can straight retrieve it for a nice wide glide or pause it, and you can get that wide kick out of that thing. Great bait. They come pre-rigged with big tournament grade hooks.
And this is a sinking bait?
This is a sinking bait, so it's a slow sink. I don't have a rate of fall on me, but it's a sinking bait. Let it get out there, get it down to the water column, count yourself down a little bit, and then just start your retrieve.
Right. So you can
switch it if you like.
A little pop in retrieve and get it just side by side and then kill it, and it slowly sinks. That's really enticing.
Yeah, and as you know, when you're fishing these baits, a lot of times that strike's going to be on that pause.
Right.
When that fish is coming back and you get that twitch and you get that full side flash, you're going to get that attack from behind.
Now, can you replace the tail section on these as well? It looks like it slides out. I'm assuming once that gets beat up with all the fish you're catching, you can go ahead and just pop that out, slide it out, and slide in a new one.
And pause.
You can't replace it?
So the tail on these have been very durable so far. You know, all the testing, we've been running these things for about a year now. It's a product that we wanted to introduce last year, and they've just really been fine-tuning it. Mike Bennett, one of the product development managers, as well as Bill Siementhal here, they've been working on this bait. They've been working hard. As you mentioned, that tail actually slides out. You can replace the tail. You can get a new tail in there, get this thing working, get it back on the water. It's a hard plastic. You can see the paint job on these things too. They're well done. They've got some really large knockers in there. You can hear that thing rattling. It's not a super loud rattle, but it's subtle. It's enough to draw in those big fish.
Did you say how much this weighs? It is 8 inches. How much does it weigh?
So the glide bait's coming in at 3.5 ounces. 8 inches, 3.5 ounces. Long casting. For the most part, if you know what you're doing and you're throwing these big baits, you're not going to get the big helicopter on your cast, but you get it out there and slowly work it in. As we talked about, slowly count this guy down, give it a couple of seconds and work a bunch of variety of different depths. Work it, pause it, let it get down a little bit more and work it way back. Most guys don't understand that without a bill on the bait, it's coming directly back at your reel. So if you cast it out, let it sink as you want, it's coming directly at your reel. If you have a lip bait or anything with any kind of a bill on the front there, as you crank it, it's going to dig down. It's not coming directly at your reel anymore. So you want to work a variety of water columns. Fan cast these things, get them out there, bring them back. Cool little baits. That's the Hydro Glide.
And you mentioned that you are now working with Bill Siementhal as well with Fishlab. So you probably have a lot of exciting things coming down the pipeline, hopefully sooner than later. But I can imagine Big Bait Bill Siementhal's got some pretty cool ideas.
I tell you what, sitting in on the meetings with these guys, it's like two mad scientists. They've got their sketch pads, they're drawing crazy stuff that you're like, what the heck is that supposed to be? And then they show you like what their end vision is, and you're just like blown away. Why has nobody thought about this? That kind of thing. It's cool.
Cool. So we can expect some big things from Fishlab
Exactly.
in the future. Right on. Well, thanks, Dave. I appreciate your time, man.
You got it. Thank you.
Thank you.